Hi, this is going to be a series of little short videos on how to do the small office for the beginning class, just so that it'll help you along since we're only meeting online. I'm going to open up a new project, so I click on new here. You get this is what you get, and if you've been working on projects, you'll see. So I'm just going to open up, don't open up new families, open up new projects. Make sure you're in models instead of families. Make sure you also change the construction template, and you can't really get what you need to do according to the book. They want you to use the commercial, so you got to come over to browse. I think they show you the arrow with the browse. And then make sure you don't pick construction again. You want to pick commercial. It's because there's a certain family of a roof that they want you to use, and if you don't see it when you open up the roofs, it's a little disconcerting for a beginner. So we'll just do it like this. If you have problems with that, I can help you fix it, but it's just better if you start off right to begin with. So we end up with a desktop here. We're going to be working with the Architecture tab and the Modify tab up here, basically for right now. And you have the 4 elevation markers here. Don't erase them. And they tell you in the book to start with the wall. So we're going to go with the wall, and they want you to use, this will come up, so you have to change this to a 12-inch generic wall. And they want you to change a couple things here. One of them is the wall location line, which will be finished face exterior, and the other is the height, which will be 9 feet. So 9 feet, and then you got the option. See, do you remember when you go to the wall, there's this little green option bar here, and it allows you to do things, add things. And you want to chain if you're drawing single wall lines. In this case, they want you to use a rectangle, so we'll just use the rectangle. So we're just going to go use the rectangle here, and we'll start from the top, upper left, to the lower right. And see, they want you to do it about 100 by 60, so we can bring this out to about 100, and then 60 would be there. That's 60, but we'll change the size here. Now, while you're in here, what you can do then is hit these little tabs here, these little witness grips, and see how I'm doing this, and change this to 60 in the keyboard. See, we're doing to the outside exterior faces, so whenever you draw anything, it wants to go to the center lines, and that's just defaults. I have tried to change that before. So this will be 100. Okay, and then you just hit modify once and you're out. If you want, you could move this over, or you can move the elevations, either one. These also move. You can just make sure you don't delete them. You see, you can move them around, but typically it's easier to move the model if you just do either a crossing window like this, or you can do a window. Okay, we got the model in here. So the next step here, according to the book then, is to put in some grid lines. And another thing I need to mention is, and it doesn't cover this in the book, but you see the little blue control arrows indicate it's either the front of a cabinet or the outside face of the wall. So these are used quite a bit. A little explanation: if we go back into the walls here, and then we do another rectangle, and I start from the lower left to the upper right, you'll end up with these facing inside. So the exterior now faces interior instead of exterior. So let me undo that. And if you try this again, I'll just do another right click. I'm a right clicker here. So if I go from upper right to lower left, well, let's go to rectangle here. Then you get the same thing, you see. So if you go one more time, so if we do this now again, and then we do the rectangle here, so if you do lower left or lower right to the upper left, then you'll get the same thing as what we already did. So we get that. This is not so important on this one. It is really important when you start getting to actual walls, and we will change these walls to something else other than generic. If you click on this, you'll see nothing. It's just nothing. It's just 1 foot thick, and there's just nothing there. There's no material. So Okay, grid lines. So now we have to draw some grid lines. So you come over here and you draw in 3 grid lines for the, and then we just do number 2. And you can you see how these want to line up here. So just follow the these are what they call this inference, and then you just draw across the top here. Almost all the softwares now have inference built in. Makes it easier to lay stuff out if you're real steady with the mouse. So now they want you to change 4 to A, and then B will be created by changing 5 to B. Typically on grid lines you have ones are letters and ones are numbers. Okay, so now what they want you to do, the next thing to do here is we're going to lock these grid lines because we got the building the way we want it dimension wise for now. We want to lock these, and then we're going to dimension the grids, and then we're going to move the size of the building based on the grid lines. If that makes any sense. So we go to modify up here, go to align, and then now see it prefers the wall center line, so let's just change this to wall center, to wall faces. Well, if I do this again, see it's still there, so I have to go back and then try again. See, now it's going to work right. If it would, this is the easiest way to do it. Otherwise you have to tab the wall to get to the outside face. So this is much easier if you just do it like this. Easy's always better, but sometimes when you're learning you should learn the hard way first. I don't know. There's so much to learn here though. We want you to help you speed this up a little bit. So now we got this one grid line we still got to deal with. So now you come up to dimensions. This is all in the book. And in dimension, now the secret here is, pay attention, you pick the second grid line and you pick the third grid line. Now this pick here now, if I zoom this up, this pick now will be the pick to locate the dimension line, and then the last pick is to get out of it. But I got out of it too soon because now I want to pick it and then hit the equal sign. So now we have a dimension that's equal between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. You can do that before you pick the final get out of jail, but then I'm just going to right click here and do another align dimension. Now notice we're doing align dimensions and not linear. Don't be going into the linear. And then you'll also notice how there's kind of a snap here. So if you want to just snap it there and then click out, you can. See, you have linear, and you have linear and align, and you got these other things. If you want to dimension an angular, you use that, or a radial, but stay away from this because it has to do with nodes. If you try to use this in place of the align, you won't get anything. So we got one more dimension to put in here. So go from here to here, and then just click the location, and then click out. Looks like it wanted to do something there also. So now you see you have a 60 by 100. It's because we remember when we changed the walls here with the little grip, with the little witness nodes there. Okay, so that's done. And the final thing then will be changing the wall type. So if you want, you can do it this way, and then hover, and then hit the tab key once, and then select the walls. You see how that works? Then you just come up here and change it to brick on CMU. So now if we look at that, now you don't see it here, but you come down to the detail. This is that visual block down at the bottom. It's in the I made a copy of I added a PDF copy that shows you all the breakdowns of the screen, so you might want to have that out, but you just want to go to medium here. Then you see medium or fine. Typically the difference between medium fine, there's medium and then there's fine. If you're drawing doors and cabinets and you want to show handles and stuff, there's a lot of times they'll hide them in the medium, but they'll show them in the fine. So but if we look at this wall just real carefully here, and I go into edit here mode, the layers are here, and then these are all the layers, and see that shows you all the stuff that's in here. And if we want to do this, let me just make this a little smaller if I can. And then I go to preview here and then do a section. It shows you all the different pieces. I'll just get it like this. You can actually change the height of this to, let's say, 10 feet instead of 40 or whatever it is. There we go. It's a little easier. So each as I go through each layer here, you'll see there's the membrane, and then there's the core. You don't see the core boundary because that's the core boundary represents the structural, the boundaries of the structural. So in this case, it's the block. Then you have a substrate, which is the metal furring, and then the last is the chipboard on the outside. Whoops, you got to pick it, Mike. And then the brick is back up on the top. You see. You'll notice that the brick is finish 1.4 and the 2.5 is the interior side. So I just wanted to show you that so you can see what you're looking at here. All of a sudden this got huge, and I don't know why. I got dual monitors here, so I just want to click OK. So we're out of this now that this is over. So this is about 10 or 11 minute video, so it gives you the basis of how to lay this thing out. It's a little bit quick and dirty, but and see, you should get something that looks like this. In the next video we'll start laying out the interior walls.